Hello students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So students, today I'd like us to look at something in paper 3. That is how to write English paper 3 essays. So talking about paper 3 English, before I start, the subject is coded as 101. So if it is English paper 1, we have 101 stroke 1. If it is English paper 2, we have 101 stroke 2. If it is English paper 3, we have 101 stroke 3. So in this session, we are only interested in question 2 and 3. So talking about the number of questions, paper 3 comprises of 3 questions. So the first question is normally, the composition, or that is creative writing or imaginative composition. So there we normally have a started composition, maybe ending compositions. Apart from that, you can be given, descriptive compositions or narrative compositions. We also have proverbs and so on. So in question 1, we normally have question 1A and B. So you only choose one. So let us focus on the two questions. That is question 2 and question 3. So question 2 and question 3, dear students, are normally essays that are based on set texts. So this means that for you to write a good essay in English paper 3, then you must have read the entire text, or that is the novels that we have. Let's talk about novels like Fathers of Nation, An Artist of the Floating World. We also have plays like The Samaritan, uh, Parliament of Oz, and so on. So those are the set texts that we are talking about. So the two questions, question 2 and 3, normally have the same approach because they are all based on the literary texts. So when writing essays based on set books, dear students, the first step is always to read and understand the question well. Read and understand the question well. So that is before doing anything. So after that, go back to the question and underline the keywords in the question and what they command you to do. So in this case, you will need to absorb. You will need to absorb those keywords. So you can identify the keywords by underlining so that you refer to them when you will be writing your introduction. So the reason why you're supposed to underline the keywords is because it is good to know the intention of the question. So that is why we analyze the features of the question. So this is to ensure that we do not set our own question. So like for example, you can be given this question: write an essay to show the evils of corruption in a society as brought out in the novel Fathers of Nation by Paul B. Vita. So that is just an example of how that is a question can be set. So in the above question, the underlined words are the keywords. So after underlining the keywords and that is analyzing, sorry, the main features of the question, now proceed to writing the introduction. So write an introduction, and when doing this, you should know that the introduction should be less than 6 lines, and it should interpret the question, that is by giving a general example from a real life or a paraphrase of the question in a general way. So I know that we have got various types of introduction. Uh, some will talk about, outline, blah, blah, blah. But I want us to be using only these two types. Either you interpret the question in a general way, that is by by looking at what happens in the society, for example, to what happens in the texts. Or another way, which is the easiest, is to give a paraphrase of the question, but in a general way. So to paraphrase is simply to reword. And this is because you're not allowed to use same words that we have in the that is in the question as your introduction. So we can do this. Let us try and look at the above question and come up with maybe an introduction that is okay. So we can twist that and have it this way in our introduction. Societies suffer rising unemployment and lack of development, among other evils, when individuals charged with managing public funds and resources embezzle or misappropriate the funds for personal use. So this situation is evident in the novel Fathers of Nation by Paul B. Vita, as agreed below. So after that, that is when you now start developing the body paragraphs. So once again, avoid using the same words used in the question when writing an introduction. So the next tip or the next step to follow is that construct. Now this is when it comes to even the body paragraphs. Construct the topic sentence that would run across the answers. Remember what a topic sentence is. A topic sentence is a type of a sentence in a paragraph that introduces the main idea, and it is normally the first sentence in a paragraph. So the topic sentence captures the keywords in the answer as reflected in the question, which means the sentence replaces the underlined words where necessary with the issues under discussion that is in the paragraph. So remember previously in our question we were able to underline that is the keywords or the main features of the question. So unemployment, for example, represents the keyword evil. And that is how it is done. So this sentence, that is the topic sentence, will run across the essay with 4 different issues that represent evil under discussion being highlighted. So it means that your essay will have 4 body paragraphs. Another thing is that the topic sentence must be a sentence and not a subtitle, like simply unemployment. So you cannot start by, using unemployment as your topic sentence and, putting a period after it, like that is not even a sentence, that is a word. So unemployment can be used to create a topic sentence, for example, that says unemployment is rampant in African states because of corruption. The 3 illustrations to show this. So you give you don't only come up with a topic sentence and leave it that way. After coming up with a topic sentence, you have to illustrate. So in this case, you'll have to illustrate how unemployment, how corruption has led to unemployment being rampant in African states. So still talking about the body paragraphs, as we write the body paragraphs, remember that the body should carry 4 paragraphs, just like I had said, and each paragraph should have its topic sentence and a detailed explanation and illustrations of the points being argued. Another thing is that each point can this is just for your knowledge. So each point can score a maximum of 3 marks. That is, if it is well explained and with a proper topic sentence. So in most cases, the points are normally graded by a full, a fair, thin, unpointed, narration, vague, and even that is we normally have this other one that is TE. So full is when a paragraph is well explained. That is your body paragraph is well explained. So you get a full, and that is 3. So fair is when the body paragraph is fairly explained, and in that case you score 2 only in that a specific paragraph. And you get a thin when your body paragraph is not well explained, but there is an attempt. So it is normally just a mark. Then you get unpointed. Unpointed, you score 0 because you misunderstood the question. You are completely out of the topic. That is where we say you set your own question. Then we also have vague to mean that whatever is written is not clear or is confusing. So when you're given a vague, it means that as a student or as a candidate, you have not clearly read and understood the literary text. So we also have TE, that is when you cannot remember details from the story well. So you quote or use details that are not in the book. After that, we have the last part, that is conclusion. This is now how to conclude our essays. So the conclusion of the essay normally should be brief, and concluding words are normally used to end it. Some of the most commonly used concluding words that we have are in conclusion, blah, 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 to conclude, blah, 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 in summary, blah, 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 to sum up, blah, 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 and so on. Or finally, so we have very many transitional words that that are used to give conclusion. So the conclusion should agree with the key argument of the question and mention 2 or 3 points discussed as the evidence. Another thing is that the conclusion should be less than 5 lines. So to conclude, this is now an example of the question that we had previously, that is how corruption has led to unemployment. So to conclude, it is true that corruption is the source of evils like lack of development and unemployment in societies. As simple as that. So also remember that a good conclusion, just like a good introduction, would score a full, that is a 2 marks. A fair one will score only 1 mark. So dear students, I hope that was super helpful, and it brings us to the end of the session. Thank you for staying tuned till the end, and remember to always keep it easy, Alimu. Until next time.